Well, it's time to start talking about putting together the portfolio, which is the last piece of work you'll do for this semester in this class. And I think it should be fun for you because you're going to be looking at everything you've done, the uh, uh, discourse community project, the disciplinary research memo, the annotated bib, and the final project. Um, and you should probably take a look honestly at how you feel you did. Now, it could be that you feel like you've learned something that you wanted to learn. It could be like you discovered something that you have trouble with and you never learned how to tackle. It's whatever is actually true is what you can write. This is all about you and your journey as a writer in this class, working towards your discipline. To put it in terms of the actual assignment, it says in this introduction to the essay, you're going to articulate a claim that provides an overarching statement of the progress you made in your work as a writer within your discipline this semester. The rest of your essay will elaborate on and defend that claim through discussion of the writing you are including in your portfolio. You should explain the rhetorical choices you made in developing and carrying out your major projects throughout the semester and how those choices are influenced by the conventions of your discipline that you have learned this semester. You may also discuss how you expect to take the knowledge you gain from this course and use it in future writing. And it does say you can quote or paraphrase from your own work in the introduction. You can quote from classmates' feedback or things that I said to substantiate your claims. But you don't need to provide citations for these because there's no works cited or anything like this. It's all about your writing. In the introduction, you may wish to, it says, discuss challenges you faced with your work in this class and how you overcame them. Or discuss revisions you've made on your work included in the portfolio and why you choose to make those revisions. And or highlight some of your strengths and how they've helped you in the class. And or acknowledge your weaknesses and show how you're working to overcome them. And or reflect on specific skills and knowledge about disciplinary writing you've gained this semester and how you intend to use those skills and knowledge in the future. And or discuss what this portfolio illustrates about you as a disciplinary writer. Now, if we look at the assignment, you'll see that you are supposed to write a critical introduction. I've included some sample critical introductions that other students have done in the past. But the point of this critical introduction is to kind of bring together everything that you've figured out after you've looked at all of your work together. Now remember, you're going to have to look at all of your works for this, and you should revise them if you feel like. It would be really a good thing to get it as accurate as you could, because you're going to put it all together at the end after you write the critical introduction. And that will include a cover page, whatever it would be in your discipline. It would be then the critical introduction. Then it would be a table of contents, which had the actual page numbers of all of your works in order, put together into a complete package, as if you had chapters of a book. A word about the table of contents. The only way to get it right is to take each of your works in order and take out all of the pagination you have on them already. Make sure that there aren't any comments from me on any of them. And it would be great if you then just stacked them one on top of another and made sure that at the beginning of each new one, it was the beginning of a new page. Now, you'll put page numbers on ultimately, and they will go continuously through the whole pile. That way, like if you are writing about your research project, it doesn't start on page 1. It starts on page whatever. And you make sure that those run all the way through to the end. And so removing all of your page numbers, removing all of your requests for grades, if you happen to have stuck any of those on the end, take them out. Okay. Then once you've got it all together, you've got the critical introduction. You can put in there before the you can put it in before the table of contents, or you can put it in your table of contents if you want, but then you have to make sure the pages start with 1 then on the critical introduction. Remember, you're going to have a cover sheet, a table of contents, and all of your works stacked in order with the correct page numbers. One other thing I want to mention, if you have never seen a table of contents, you may not know how to do it. And I say that not to be a smart aleck, but because there are students who apparently have never looked at tables of contents before. And they would put the number here, and then there was a series of dots that went over to the name of the article. That's backwards. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you've got, that's the name of it is there. You may have some leader dots going over to the page number, because that's the way our minds look at things. We look at the titles of them. Can you imagine, what if I wanted to look at one of your works and I had to go down and find, oops, got to find it over here, and now I've got to look over here to find the page. It just doesn't make sense. It's not intuitive, and it's not proper. So if you have any trouble with your table of contents, you should probably take a look at a book or something and see how they're put together.
A feeling deep inside.